Right there. Right there.
Potato, potato.
Tom Voxel himself.
Tom Voxel's here. Welcome in. Got my coffee. We can get this party started. Welcome. Morning. Nick Skull coming in first. What's up, Nick Skull? Good morning. We got the V-Vox. The Vox. Welcome. Tom Voxel. Good morning. The Voxel. The Tom. What's up? Raffy Bay. Welcome. How are you? Garnican. Good morning to you. Welcome. Or afternoon, I suppose. Well, Tom, coffee is a crutch, and I lean on it every day. Well, happy Monday, everybody. Hope we're doing well. Something I want to get off my chest. I might be moving my stream schedule from 5 days a week to 3 days a week for the foreseeable future. That's going to be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Fridays, aka D&D Day, is also going to get changed. So you all heard it here first. Oh, V, you like the map? Thank you so much. Yeah, Fred did pretty much all of the redecorating here on the top floor. But yeah, things are going well. Happy Monday. I'm gonna be having a vacation pretty soon here. Like a literal, like, traveling with friends and family vacation. That'll be nice. That'll probably be next week. Or the week after. It'll be like next Friday. Then after that, I also made plans to go to like a out-of-state trip in June. So yeah, things are moving, things are happening. Figured I'd let you all know now, so it's not too big of a surprise. So today we're going to be making some progress on our water jug puzzle. There's a lot to do with this one. Yeah, thanks all for joining us. Just popping in saying hi. Jayonha, good morning. Masquita, buenos dias. Coming to Europe, Tom? I wish I said I could say yes. So time to press the panic button? No, Gardican. No panic button today. Hey, Go West, good morning. Change of phase is good. Thanks, V. If anything, it's definitely a new chapter in my life. I think all of us have new chapters, like, pretty frequently, especially with Web3 and, well, you know, life just gets a hold on you. You gotta take a step back once in a while. Okay, so let's try this water puzzle. Alright, so it is spawning my assets and they're visible. Like, I don't want them to be visible. So that's not a good sign. I don't know why it's doing that. Because it didn't do that last time. And then all of a sudden it fixes itself. So, thank you Game Maker for being so inconsistent. Well, the first thing I'll do is test to make sure the actual presets are also invisible. We'll see here. So that's going to be 5-3. So, my suspicions are confirmed. These assets are indeed toggled off. So what is it spawning right here? This is 5 full. Okay, so I gotta check out 5 full then. Okay, 5 full did not have them invisible, so. Alright, well, if that's the case, I need to figure out if these particular assets need to be edited. When I initially shelved this mechanic, it was because these child objects, such as these detect lamps, were not being removed alongside the plant behavior. So it looks as though they are getting removed, which is a huge boon, a blessing. So as long as they are destroyed, which it looks like they are, then I'm able to, you know, interact with these assets more consistently. Okay, so that's a good sign, for sure.
Ready to work.
OG, bring in the raid! Welcome in. What's happening, OG Shakespeare? How was your stream today? Garnican, D&D would probably move to a different day. Now, I haven't really talked to the D&D group about this too much, but we're probably going to be finding a stopping point pretty soon. So you all heard it here first. Yokes on you, good morning. Wicked you too, what's up with you too? Halfd0rk, good morning. I've had a great weekend, thanks for asking, Ian. It's, I needed some time away from things. And I was able to, you know, take that mental break. And then I'm also going to be taking like a physical break pretty soon too. Hey Bert, good morning, good day to you. Good eye, Mike. What's up, Fred and Ferd? Good morning. Went well, says OG. Chopping down that EP. Oh gosh. I've gotten a little bit procrastinating with my EP. Blue Tulip, good morning. What's up, dude? Yeah, it's been a month so far. Things are changing, and not necessarily bad or good, but changing. So. Like, the things I'm doing with the council have changed. A lot has changed. It all kind of happened this month. Tell us more. No. That's all you get, Nick Skull. That's all you get. Also, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. I thought I just saved that preset. Yeah, Garnican, stress is sometimes unavoidable, but I do my best to avoid it. Okay, so right now, this asset is spawning 5.5 when I bring the 8.8 to 5.0. So all of these messages currently work as expected. However, it's spawning this asset here, which did not get saved. What did I just save? My preset didn't save. That's very strange. Why didn't it save? Okay, I'll try saving it again. See what happens. Does anybody know anything about presets that happened recently? There's no way I'm losing my mind, am I? I mean, I don't answer that. Might be true. Okay, so I'm grabbing the parent asset, selecting the name, copying the name, clicking the preset button, pasting the name, selecting the old preset, pasting the name into the preset name. And now, if I select it again, okay, it's supposedly working again. Maybe I had to save. It's kind of weird. Yeah. So, who of you are participating in the Steve Aoki stuff? Look forward to seeing what games come out of that. already seen some really cool innovations. Music-related goodies. Okay. Alright, well that is a very good sign because not only did my preset work, it allowed me to delete the old one. So all my assets are working. That was a very weird bug. It looks like my plugs, I need to definitely remove collisions because that somehow caused my character to spawn 5 feet away, so... I think that'll be the first thing I do. We're gonna have to grab all the plugs, which we did not too long ago. We gotta make sure they all have no collisions. And some of them won't even be pickable, which is the point zeros. So I'll go by section here. We have no collisions, check. No collisions, check. No collisions, check. No collisions, check. So one of these probably has collisions, because that's what just occurred. So no collisions, no collisions, no collisions, no collisions, no collisions. So why was I colliding with that asset that just spawned? Okay, let me see if I can encounter that again. Game Maker's haunted. Okay, so this asset here I was colliding with after I picked it up. I think it's just a bug. Like, how am I encountering so many bugs this morning? You know what? I'll take it. Wait, it's 5.2 because I'm standing on it now. I don't understand. 5.2. Okay. Why is it being so weird? It's no collisions. I don't understand. I don't understand. What am I supposed to do?
You can do it!
I don't know how. What am I supposed to do? So it's spawning the asset, and half the time, it's spawning with collisions. Okay, so it's 5.2. So if I take this here, we have a non-collidable plug. Then I bring it to the 3. This is spawning with collisions, and I don't see why. Because I saved the preset without collisions. Okay, let's see if I can respawn it. So confused right now. Have you tried turning it off and on again? That never works. 97, hey, what's up, dude? Welcome in. Karatros, Opa, how are you? Anyone doing the cakeception? Oh yeah, Tom, go for it. You should do it. I think it's a very fun idea. But if you don't got time, you don't got time. Okay, so the non-collidable asset is spawning from an asset spawner. Now, I don't know why it's spawning without collisions. Or it's spawning with collisions. I want it to spawn without collisions. But until that makes itself known, I guess it's not too big of an issue. Now I need to reorganize some of these assets. So we'll start with the 3s. Yeah, there was less time with this game jam, so for those participating, I think this is going to be more like a natural game jam. Like natural game jams, I'm going to throw that term around lightly. Basically means you have less time to make a game. And so they're going to be less polished experiences. Whereas with this parkour one, people had like 3 weeks. With Steve Aoki, it was like 10 days. So that's a pretty big difference in amount of time. Normal game jams, you know, pretty much Unity and itch.io game jams, like they take like 1 to 3 days on average. And people make some amazing stuff in 3 days. I think that's kind of one of the underlying issues with these game jams right now. It's like people are spending way too much time on them without enough return. And so I hope the sandbox kind of acknowledges that. Because there's a lot of people spending way too much time. And then, of course, you'd be upset if you didn't get like any placement. I was upset my very first game jam. I spent like well over 100 hours on my first game and didn't even get top 10. So it's like, how does one process that? Did I have 2 plugs? Why do I have 2 plugs? Okay, the rest of them look fine. One sandy shower. Well, Tom, that doesn't make it sound any more enticing. Yeah, Cartros, I know you've had to suffer through those too. But the things you make now, Cartros, it is inspiring. Especially with King of Crypto Games, you guys have been pumping out some really cool stuff. So I'm excited to see what you make, Cartros. Like, it's clear that people are gaining skill. I'll say that much. But the amount of people that stick around is very few. I think everyone here has stuck around. You know, like, we're here for the long haul. But there's more people, I would say, that are leaving. Like, they participate, and they're like, I don't think this is for me. And it's because the return on investment isn't very high. So they gotta, and this is talking about sandbox, and this is, of course, my subjective opinion here. They gotta find ways to keep game makers interested. And, I mean, just to, like, start the conversation, you know, between us, our discussion here, I believe them taking as long as they have with land publishing is part of it. For those of you unaware, the promise of land publishing was made, and we were supposed to have it at the end of last year. So we're already more than 6 months behind in terms of, like, roadmap. And we probably won't get it until the end of this year, at best. Many things coming, says Kertros. Sticking around is becoming very hard. Yeah, Kertros, I couldn't agree more. It's definitely one of those time... time is a very important factor in anything, especially making art, making games. Good morning, Escape Room Artist. G to the M. Welcome. Game jam's not worth the effort versus return on interest. Yeah, 97, that pretty much sums it up. And I got very lucky, I would say. Like, sure, I can say I'm a good game developer. Like, I now have a proven track record. But at the same time, like, I was participating when there were fewer participants. And now there's actually more participants. And they did not up the reward. Like, there are less incentives right now to participate in these game jams than when I was doing it. And it was already relatively low compared to, you know, the very first wave of sandboxers who were getting like 60,000 sand first place. And of course, sand was like a few pennies at that time. It looks like all my 5 boxes are good. Now it's time to check the 8s. And so essentially I'm looking for visible assets. So we can see here, I'm looking for the lamps that are in the middle and are being displayed. Now, I haven't been able to spot any, which is a little bit concerning, because I know I've seen a few. So I think there might be something wrong with my presets, and I might have to resave some of them. Some are upside down. Looks like I was trying different things. Oh, I remember. I turned this upside down and put it inside the box because when it was spawning, there was like a half second where you could see the invisible assets. Like they kind of like spawned and then turned invisible. So I think that might be something we have to do. None of these should be collidable. What do you think? Does land publishing also mean wrapping assets to land? That would mean we need to own and have minted everything in the game. I do remember that being a pretty big issue, Tom. So that's a good topic. Well, yes, and I think that needs to be handled before we can have land publishing. So, like, people can't be publishing their land without first owning an asset. So it needs to be in their wallet. It can't be, like, liking or wishlisting something, for example. Which I believe you can currently do in the drafts gallery. Like, you can use people's assets that you don't own. So yes, that is a hurdle that they have to get over first. Good morning, Ixura. How are you? What's happening? I've been teaching myself Unity the last couple weeks, and things have been going well. I've been learning how to do cinematics. I have been learning how to make web pages on itch.io, on GitHub. What else have I been teaching myself? I have been learning how to publish WebGL games. And I'm excited to show you my plans with that, but it'll be a fun surprise. It'll be a fun surprise. But yeah, I do plan on making some Unity games that synergize with Sandbox. Like, I don't plan on leaving the Sandbox pretty much ever, but I do plan on making games outside of the Sandbox. Like, Sandbox now has like a special place in my heart. Good morning, good morning. What's up, Nicholas Mage? I'll make my own sandbox. If only it was that easy. Dork-fi Kingdom. 8987A, I think the web page might be available at this point. I wonder how DeFi Kingdoms is doing. I don't know. There are a lot of crypto projects come and go. Sandbox has been proven that they want to stick around. Sandbox definitely has the metaverse vibe that I want. And I think a lot of us agree, where it's like, there is a lot of potential here. The people in charge got to make it happen, and they are trying. You know, there's a lot of factors that are out of our control. So we're just waiting. You know, we're literally waiting for reality to happen. Where it's like, people start coming more. There's more people. We're all just kind of like twiddling our thumbs right now, waiting for the movement, if you will. Even after the 0.8. Yeah, I said it as a joke. 0.8 or 0.8. It's, you know, it's us encountering or pioneering the way for future creators. And while we're struggling, in the future, people won't struggle. So, we'll do our part. Okay, so some of these assets, I just checked. And the invisible assets are spawning visible. So this is also why I had inverted and flipped upside down my lamps in some of these assets. So it looks as though I'm going to have to do that. Simply because I don't have any control over these. They seem to be spawning with visibility, whether I want them to or not. And what's worse is it's like half the time. So like some assets are spawning as they should, such as this box and this box. But the other ones are not spawning how I saved them. They're not spawning with the correct visibility. And what's even weirder is sometimes they do. And it's also worth noting here that when it spawns, no matter whether it spawns visible or invisible, there is this half second where you can see the asset no matter what. So if we're taking a look at this empty box that I'm about to bring this plug to, in the middle of the box, you're going to see the lamps for a half second. So, now that we're aware of it, we're gonna try and prevent that from happening. So we can see here, every time I spawn a parented asset, it appears to be like spawning multiple things all in the same instance as I set it up. So it's basically spawning like one thing with like 10 things attached to it. So we'll just say for, you know, an argument here, I'm spawning 12 things all in one moment. Basically, it's trying to calculate all of that in a half second, and it's not able to do it faster than the human eye can see it. So I'm able to see those lamps in that half second. And so I don't want that. I want the player to be immersed in my game. So I'm basically going to save all the presets to where you'll never be able to see it in the first place. And that's also going to solve the problem of like sometimes the assets are visible. Alright, so we'll start with the small boxes here, the 3.0s. And so the easy solution here, I'm going to put these up against the wall, and I'm going to select all of the lamps, and then I'm just going to rotate them 180 degrees vertically, and then position them where they're just underneath the surface here.
Neat.
So they're still going to have that sphere of detection, except now the asset itself is basically upside down. All they were detectors anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. Then I'll resave the preset. Now this does make them harder to edit, but ideally I shouldn't have to edit anything. All of these should be working. Like I've edited these assets I don't know how many times now. So yeah, just going to be going down the list, flipping them upside down, rotating them into place. And saving the preset. Next ball run, the bull run, Ian. Oh yeah, mobile, when that happens, it's gonna be a wave of people. However, mobile might not even happen this year. All things considered, mobile was pretty far on the roadmap. We have quite a few checkpoints we have to hit before mobile becomes a thing. But mobile will become a thing. It's just, we don't know how long that's going to take. And right now, the entire sandbox is on a Windows and Mac EXE. So it's kind of like not optimized for mobile yet. So we still have a long way to go. And so it's good to put that in perspective. Like, the sandbox is not a browser game like Decentraland. Decentraland is a browser game. So if you've tried Decentraland, it's a night and day difference as to like what you can do in the sandbox. Oh, I forgot about my asset spawners here. If I flip that down over. Oh, I added plant behaviors to all these. Okay, well, I don't think it'll be too big of a problem. In fact, we'll probably see the problem. I'll just save the preset. We can test that. Next year, Bitcoin halving as well. It's a thought. Yeah, Escape from Artist Plant has been giving me so many problems. But reporting bugs, I've definitely found that they are fixing bugs as they're being reported, so the least I can do is find the bugs that I encountered and report them. And I hope all of you game makers are doing the same. So even though it's not our job to literally test the software, we're on the front lines here. We gotta do our part. Well, Ian, fingers crossed. Escape from Artists, you've definitely gone your own path and have encountered bugs I've never even considered. So make sure you report yours too. Yep. Kidding, I know. But that could be said for any of you. If you encounter a bug, make sure you document it and you type it up. If you're looking for how to report a bug, hit escape, so bringing up the menu, Pretty much in Game Maker, this is on every menu. Report bug. So when you click that, it'll bring up this window. It's going to have default email. The email does not matter. Basically, they are receiving this in their inbox. And this is kind of like sent as an email. So no matter what you put in those boxes, it'll appear in their inbox. Okay, so I just saved this preset. I just saved it. And it's still spawning the old version of the preset. That occurred the first preset we saved today as well. So that's a little bit concerning. And then it fixes itself. So it's like, it's not working and then it fixes itself. It's also spawning assets here incorrectly. There's something wrong, and I don't understand. So essentially all the presets I just saved are not spawning the same way I saved them. So I'm still getting that half second of where the lamps are standing upright. So if we take a look here at all of these presets that I just saved, it looks as though it did not save the new relative positioning. However, if I do it again, everything I literally just did and then save it again, like you guys were there, you saw me do it. And this time I think I need to like, okay, it's not saving it. Maybe it has something to do with me being on the bottom floor. I'm not on the bottom floor. So it's not saving the positioning of these assets. And I can't find, I don't know, I don't understand why. Okay. So it's, do I need to like make a new preset altogether? Reopen Game Maker? Little Legion, you think it's that type of bug?
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
What's up, Little Legion? Honestly, I am willing to try it. It's gotta be something with like the cache. So we'll try restarting. So yeah, my presets were not saving correctly. The cache. Yeah, Nicholas Mage, that cache too. Both caches. Yeah, Ian, that's kind of a risky play. So I think they're waiting until they have like a proper product before even considering that. Because cryptocurrency in general, like you're playing with money. And while yes, kids want to earn a couple bucks on the side, you have to set up pretty much a digital bank account. And that's not something kids should be doing. It'll happen. It's just it needs to happen correctly. And I think Sandbox is biding their time. They're not like rushing anything. And that's actually a very comforting thing to know. It's like Sandbox is taking baby steps in the correct directions. I think we are anxiously awaiting for them to start walking. But hey, baby steps is still progress. Alright, I think I'll get a keyword going. Free stuff. Yeah, definitely need a child filter for sure. Code word is pizza. Pizza.
Pizza time.
It's pizza time. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mute sandbox. Boink.
Banana! Banana.
Banana. Mm. Oh yeah. So it occurred to me that if I continue making things, which I will, I have a HD 3D collection. That is going to be used for future, like, in-house giveaways, as well as like a community of people who are supporting, you know, me as a creator. So if you are familiar with Discord's like collab land, as an example, by being a part of the HD 3D collection, you're going to have access to certain things. So, that being said, many of you already have one. So basically, hold on to that, and that's like your ticket for Halfd0rk specific stuff in the future. Hey! Those of you that have two of them, you could also probably sell those off. I don't know who would be interested in buying them, but in the future they're going to be harder to get. They're already pretty hard to get. Oh yeah, does that Discord link work? I don't think I've updated that link in a while. No, it seems like it works. Okay, so let's see if my preset has been saved. 3.0. Okay, so it did save the preset. So Little Legion, you were correct. So thank you, Little Legion. I don't know why it's being weird like that, but it looks like a reset was all it needed. So that means if I save this preset after changing it for the third time, it should save appropriately. It is not saving it appropriately. So why does it not want to save it? Maybe I need to, like, test this. So let's attempt to do two at the same time now. And so both of these I'm going to save as new presets and then leave them on the map and restart GameMaker. Okay, so it looks like 3.2 saved properly. What about 3.3? 3.3 did not. Yeah, GameMaker is a game maker. Something even stranger, sometimes it has a history of preset saves. Oh, yikes. The next copy you called is the last copy saved. Mostly solves it. Yeah, Little Legion, that... I don't... How do we report that? It's definitely worth reporting. So this is 3.C. I need to make sure this has asset spawner. Reset the preset, and then restart Game Maker. But this time I'm going to leave them on the map. So hopefully that kind of like helps the cache. But the fact that this is a problem is like throwing a wrench into my bicycle. It's a bat. Yeah, 97A. There's so many analogies we could make with Game Maker. Game Maker's like your dad going out to get cigarettes and never coming home. You don't know when he's coming home. It's like Pandora's box. It's like Pavlov's dog. Game Maker's like Pavlov's dog. Where it's like it'll ring a bell sometimes. Makes you drool. Alright, we're gonna roll the giveaway twice. So I can, I guess, take a break. I don't know. Jayonha! Winning the first one. Jayonha! Thank you, Jayona. GG! So a quick commercial break. We're going to do another giveaway. The code word is going to be up on screen. So, you know, refresh your drinks. I'll be back soon. Do your thing. Oh, go West. You spelled it wrong. There you go. Alright, you're on it. You're on it. Oh, and Ian, the IT guy, mentioning the child filter. Yes. Unfortunately, most games these days, like, there are no child filters. Even in Roblox, there's stuff you can do in Roblox that I don't think parents know about. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto. Some of the stuff you can do. Like, people can make games in Roblox, much like people can make games here in the sandbox. I think Roblox has, like, the potential to be what Sandbox is trying to be. And Sandbox is just trying to do it first. It's just Sandbox is taking too long. Yo, J-Dog, what's up? Okay, I'll be back. I'll be right back. I'm just loading up the game in the background.
Wait, what? What?
Can I get a oh yeah?
Drop that dun dun dun. Hey, don't drop that dun dun dun.
Sorry, Tom. Alright. The winner. Nick Skull. Is it Nick Skull? It is Nick Skull.
Is it Nick Skull? It is Nick Skull.
You know, you make a choice to win, and you win. I'm sorry, winning.
Yeah, sorry for winning. No big deal. Alright, let's see if these saved properly. So we had 3.2 and 3.3. Looks like they saved. So yeah, as Little Legion pointed out, like, sometimes you just have to reset the cache by resetting GameMaker. It's kind of annoying. Very annoying. But at least we were able to work around it. I think I'd be more frustrated if we didn't find a solution. I think I'll report that. When saving a preset with multiple children, sometimes the older preset is not overwritten. This prevents changes from being made until a restart of the GameMaker. If editing multiple presets, not all are. Keep those changes even after restarting. All right. Okay, so it is spawning my assets upside down, which I knew was going to happen. But now that I see it, I think it looks ugly. So, it is spawning all of them upside down.
What? Wait, what? What?
Hey, Ikiam, what's happening? You're a groupie for me. I'm a groupie for you. Ikiam, we gotta make karaoke happen. I think when we all finally meet up in whatever big folk city, we're gonna do karaoke. Like, I don't know what city it's gonna be. It'll be Miami, New York, across the world. Tom, maybe we will get a room. You're invited too. We gotta hear those pipes. Okay, so I don't like that it's spawning upside down. What would I do different? Well, because I can control what direction it's facing, I might attempt to place the plug in a way that it looks like it's horizontally sticking out. And I'll make it look more realistic when the player pulls it away. So it's going to be a little bit obnoxious, but because I have to save all the presets anyway, might as well. So now the obnoxious part is trying to find that asset spawner, which I did not label correctly. I think one of them had the correct label. Okay. So that's the asset spawner. Now I want to twist it and then place it in a way. Oh, okay. Well, it's got to be underground. And then centered. So I think that's good. So this is 3.0. Save it and see how it looks. Yeah, Kay and I have been working on the GDD for this game. Long story short, we're ready. We're ready to pitch this. The game itself will be made. It would be nice if it, we finally took those Game Maker Fun steps. And I think the sandbox will support us. However, it's actually presenting this, I think, has provided a moderate amount of stress. It's more like I need to get over this hurdle in order to keep running. Like, I'm using some weird analogies here, but I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It's like, this is the next big challenge for me as a game maker. Is like, oh, this is my game. This is what I value it at. This is how I plan to make money. So, like, making those active decisions, pitching it to the sandbox, having a conversation with them to where they support us financially, and then finally actually making the game. The game itself and like making the game, I've never had a problem with. Like, I like making games, but like asking people for money, I've never really been good at, because I always sell myself short, and I think a lot of people do too. Like, I'm not the only one. Oh, Ikion, you're not able to get in? Let me, I'll drop another link. Cool, so that spawned our plug, although it is upside down. That's actually not difficult to fix. And it saved the preset, which was nice. Well, it looks like other people got in today. But I'll drop another link just in case. There you go, Ikion. So to fix this, all I have to do is rotate it 180 degrees. And then change the Y to the inverse. It's like 1. It does have an odd offset, but I kind of liked it, so we'll keep it for now. I was thinking about spawning the plugs on the top of it, but some of these are a little bit more difficult to get to the top. So I think it's better to just have it in front. But yeah, I apologize for how long this puzzle in general, like, I've spent on stream. It's just one of those things that I'm was never quite happy with. But I think it's finally gotten to the point where it's where it needs to be for me to continue. I think I said that last time too. Wait, what? What? If you ever find a way to define how much an experience is worth, please share the method. Oh, well, Garnican, that's incredibly subjective. So basically, there's not really a set amount any experience is valued at. And that's part of the fun, I suppose. It's kind of like you are the one, you, the creator, are going to put that arbitrary value, that price together, and then you send that to the sandbox. You have negotiations with them where they probably talk you down, but then it's also your responsibility to prove why you need that money. So marketing is a really big part of making games in the sandbox, just from what I understand. So it is incredibly valuable for all of you to get that experience with us. Like, what's great with this community is everyone here in this chat room right now is more or less trying to support other people and also is deserving of support. So I hope each one of you, you know, is giving back, but also looking to receive. I think all of us here are trying to help one another. So if you have a product, you know, you have a NFT drop, you have a game coming out soon, you are more than welcome to use my platform here, this chat room, to, you know, shout yourself out. Of course, it is polite to ask me first, but I am telling you right now that I want you to do it. I want you to use it. Yeah, go west, please. Please, please, please. But yeah, in terms of the point I'm trying to make here, is you need to get experience marketing yourself. You have to find out for yourself, firsthand, how to value the things you make. How to sell your art. There's no easy way to go about it. You basically have to throw yourself into the deep end. Who are you? Working with a well-known team on Sandbox to stream their games and give away some NFTs to lucky viewers. Go West, that sounds very exciting. Is it, can you not say who you're working with? Or at least not yet? Either way, very exciting to hear about that. Okay, this is working as I wanted it to. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this now. Except for right now, why didn't that spawn? Oh my goodness. So that was like 3.1 to 5.0. Which didn't spawn the blank version. Which should have been in here, so me carrying 3.1 to 5.0. Or no, 5.5. Okay. So that would have been 5.5 to 3.1. Which I didn't see here on this list. So we should be good. Hehehe, XD. Now that does also mean 5.5/3.2 exists. And 5.5. So basically all my wrong combinations also have to be on this list. Well, it's actually not supposed to spawn it. It's supposed to reset it, right? So it should be on this one then. Hmm. Okay. Well, so far so good though. This is the setting that I'm looking for. That feeling when the logic works, right, Ikion? Never mind. Yeah, go west. Whatever you need, I don't know, my opinion on, feel free to ask. And you can message me, whisper me if you want, go west. Garnican says, very crypto-related question. Any browsers people recommend, or one I should avoid using? Brave is a very good choice. Keep in mind that Brave is Chromium-based. And this is me being skeptical, I suppose, or a pessimist, if you will. But Chromium and Chrome, those are all Google. Google makes a lot of money by tracking what people do. Chrome and Chromium browsers have that tracking built in. Personally, I use Firefox. But yeah, it's no doubt in my mind that Google uses the information gathered when you use its free software. There's nothing for free in this life. Now, Firefox does the same thing. But I think Google does it on like a malicious scale. Like the things Google can do with your information is pretty crazy. And I use a lot of Google products already. Okay. Say pizza in your Android and see how fast you get a pizza ad, says Paul. Paul, that sounds like a good test. How fast can I get a pizza to my house? Go West. Say no more. Does Brave have all the widgets and account sync? Tom, that's a good question. I am unsure. Yeah, so Ekion can confirm. Feels like Brave is doing what they can to stop. Yeah, Chromium being open source. Oh yeah, Ekion. From what I hear, Brave is doing good things. So Brave does seem like a good choice. I just have my doubts with Google specifically, because everything is like stemming from Google. So the less we can do without Google, the better. And that's just my opinion. Because Google is like a literal powerhouse in the world. And they didn't get there by offering free software. You know? Well, actually, they did get there from offering free software. Basically, us using their free software benefits them. They are our supreme ruler. It depends on how you look at things. I guess I've always been a pessimist about that in terms of like using free stuff. More cautious than OpenAI. Google is? AI is still pretty new. It's good to see, you know, the amount of progress AI is making, but it's also very disheartening for artists. I think AI is essentially removing a lot of art-related jobs, and it is unfortunate that you have to like adapt, or just you are no longer needed, sir. Alright, so it looks like I need to find the asset spawner. Maybe if I select all these. So the asset spawner isn't on this list. That's not good. But it's right here. Looks like I moved it out of range and I was testing health components, but that doesn't seem necessary because now the asset spawner itself is being removed with the plant behavior, which this is why I added this particular mechanic in the first place. So that just means I can put it back. So these all defaulted to multiplayer behaviors and components, which I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. It shouldn't be in single player. It's hard to say. Oh sure, let's take a look real quick, Ekion.
AI, generative AI, AI. It uses AI to bring AI.
AI. Hey RBJs, what's up? Pizza dough or deal dough? What's deal? Oh my gosh. I almost said it, but I did say it. Got him. Hey, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. That's pretty funny. Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, it's funny. Okay, we need the asset spawner. And we rotate that into place. We'll be able to save these presets. We might have to restart GameMaker for it to save properly, because I don't want to have to do this again. Again. So I'm not going to delete them until I know they save properly. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty excited for Sandbox's future. I think it's taking longer than expected, but I do think it's going to be a hit, you know? That's why I've stuck around as long as I have. It's just, I hope we get to the part, you know, where there's more people. Save. So, yeah, I mean, I'm getting some good progress in today. Is there anything I should talk about? Is there maybe like an article we should read? If you guys wanted to discuss something in general, let me know. Otherwise, probably wrapping up the stream in about 20 minutes. One important piece of information, I'm going to be cutting my stream hours. We're no longer going to be doing 5 days a week. It's bad news for you, good news for me. Is what it is. I'm sorry, Ian. But yeah, I'm starting to reevaluate why I do the things I do. Did a lot of introspection in the last couple weeks. As much as I enjoy streaming, it's not really my dream job. There are streamers that love streaming. I started streaming simply because there wasn't many people doing Sandbox, and it felt odd. Like, it basically when I started streaming, there was like 1 to 5 Sandbox streamers, period. And that meant, like, you could only watch, like, the Sandbox official streams. I started streaming because I felt as though I could help the social platform I could help, you know, bring the community together. I could help, you know, start these conversations, the ones that we've had today. And I feel like I've done that. And I feel like we now have like a dozen or so streamers. And I did my part. But yeah, I don't see myself streaming for the rest of my life. Did I save all these? Well, the easiest way to test is to just drag and drop them all onto the map again. Make sure they're saved. Looks good. Nice try, Garnican. Well, Ian, you've been considering streaming too, haven't you? Like doing more often? Well, either way, it'd be great to see more people online, but streaming in general, I don't encourage people to actively do unless they enjoy the social potential. So, like, if you want to talk to people, streaming's fun. If you want to have a camera on, if you want to track everything you're doing online, streaming is great. There are some caveats. You do need to be more careful with your information and what is being displayed on screen. There are a lot of things you have to keep in mind if you, whoever's listening, wants to consider streaming. And it can be stressful. That's the big takeaway like the point I'm trying to make here. Streaming can be stressful. And you're not exactly going to be making money in the first year or years. It is not a very easy thing to do to make a business out of this. And I wouldn't even say I've made a business. It's more like I've been doing this for fun. And it's brought me to today. So, something. It's something. Ikion, I think trolls are welcome in streaming. That's a hot take, I'm sure, but in general, I don't think people will hold it against you. But I could understand why that might be making you more hesitant. Probably do like 3 at a time here. But yeah, I hope you all find something that makes you happy in life. Something that excites you, ignites your passion. That's something I actively look for. And GameMaker did it for a while. Right now, GameMaker is, we're in the companion stage. No longer romantically attracted. GameMaker. But hey, I think it'll circle back. It'll come back around. Some trolls are better than others, for sure. Some hours there are 4+ sandbox related streams. True. Well, Garnican, it is important to note that streaming is not meant to be broadcast type format, where it's like, Halfd0rk is in this hour, Halfd0rk is in this hour, Blue Tulip's in this hour. Streaming has been and always will be universal. So like, we're going to have multiple people streaming at the same time. That is, without a doubt, unavoidable. At this point in time, when we have like a dozen streamers, we can work around that. But that is not scalable. That's just us being selfish because we want to support everybody. So yeah, just to put it in different words, right now, we can schedule it to where everybody gets watched. We all support one another. That's great. In the future, we're not going to have that luxury. Yeah, Escape Room Artist has been doing some fun stuff, especially in Game Maker. Always love seeing sandbox streamers stream the sandbox. That's probably one of my favorite things about sandbox streamers, is when they're actually streaming sandbox. .1. Okay, thank you, Game Maker. This guy. Look at this dude. Oh, is that why Escape Room Artist? Gotcha. Yeah, personally, the D&D stuff, I think I'm going to be moving to offline as well. I've had a lot of fun with it, but it's not the dream job for me either. And stream teams, yeah. It's a good way to put it. But yeah, I realized I did a lot of personal self-sacrifice in order to put out content without any real intention of gaining anything.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice.
A sacrifice.
I am willing to make. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice.
A sacrifice. Personally, I think I would have an entirely different opinion if I was making money by streaming. Such as taking sponsors, you know, setting up collaborations, partnerships, doing more Game Maker Fund related things. A lot of these things was me not seizing opportunities, but it was also me actively choosing to be more not-for-profit, just in general. Like, personally, content creation, and this is just my subjective point of view, social media has caused people to make content for money. I am still under the belief that you should make content because you want to make content. And honestly, I think our community is very good about it. But they're, you know, at the end of the day, people need to have a roof over their head. They need to have food on their table. And so you can't blame people for taking profitable opportunities when they arise. But yeah, personally, like, I think making art has gotten to this point where it's like, if you're not making money from making art, like it's not as fulfilling. And that's just so strange to me. Like I feel like we have to bring that back, where it's like, I enjoy making voxel art because I love voxels. They look cool. Here's what I made. Now it's like, I enjoy making voxel arts because it makes me money. I made thousands of dollars after I made this rabbit. It's a cool rabbit. And then people's overall interpretation of art becomes like, oh, how much is this worth? I don't know. Right now I'm just kind of like dumping knowledge. More like dumping opinions. I'm Skadoosh. What's up, Vox Machina? Welcome in. Passion versus career job. Yeah, Bert, that kind of sums it up. It really does. So I need this to maybe be a little bit taller. But so far so good. Commercialization has a mixed effect. Yeah, for sure. It's something we all have to consider. Like, you gotta find that good balance. Like, for example, this is actually a really good example. Is OnlyFans. Like, so you have... Well, actually, that's not. That's kind of like a different topic altogether. Where you're kind of monetizing things that have more value because of the content itself. So let's just say, for example, and we'll go back to Sandbox here. I don't want to get too off track. In the Sandbox, like, you really love making characters. Characters are your favorite thing to make. However, your job, or what people hire you to make, happens to be buildings. Now, what do you do in that situation? Do you just only make buildings? Do you make characters on the side? Do you try to spin it to where you're only taking paid jobs where you're making characters? It's kind of like you have to find that balance yourself. But I don't know. I enjoy having these types of conversations. I should probably test these. I do have to save them anyway. I'm gonna just go ahead and finish what I'm doing though.
So it's
420. Thanks, Bert. Yeah, that's where all my OnlyFans go. You'll get some voxelized goodies. Can't create art if you're starved to death. That's a very valid point. 97A. Being the IT guy, if I have the skills, I would create tutorials you have to buy. I would pay to get to show how to things to do. Step-by-step tutorials. Well, thank you, Ian. I appreciate that. And I, too, want to make tutorials. I think it's something I've always had the intention to do.
You can do it!
But not, like, the motivation. And you guys have been very supportive in that regard, so thank you. I just don't feel as though... What is stopping me from just making a tutorial? I often find myself at creative roadblocks. I find myself unhappy with the things I've built. I often have like this self-doubt that prevents me from doing certain things. I've, like most people, have had imposter syndrome, where it feels as though I did not earn the things that I have earned. There's a lot of reasons that kind of compile into why I haven't done certain things that I wanted to do.
Inconceivable.
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 And, yeah, another reason why I haven't really made tutorials is, like, things keep changing in GameMaker. And it's like the day I made my teleportation tutorial, for example, and this was several months ago, in fact, 0.8 like came out like a month later. And so then everything in teleportation, like that specific tutorial, didn't work. It's just kind of like, oh, I guess I have to remake this. Which I suppose is part of the problem, but also you gotta roll with the punches anyway. Oh, go West, have a fantastic day. Thanks for hanging out, man. Karatro says, what about when everything that you love in life can't give you any decent money? Oh, Karatro, that feeling. I hope you're able to find something. And what's nice is the internet provides so many opportunities. And I think you are on the right track, Karatro. I love seeing all the progress you've made since I met you, really. With all the changes happening. Yeah, paid classes, exactly, Tom. And I think Metaverse Masterclass made by Tempest Studios, they're under like that same pressure where it's like, hey, we promised to make these things, but then when you look at these tutorials and then you look at what they're made to explain, like that thing has not stopped changing. GameMaker has gone through revamp after revamp. We, in the last couple months, got single player and multiplayer messages and behaviors. That alone, that one thing, that one topic, completely changed the game. Yeah, GameMaker technique, killing fields. Yeah, exactly, 97A. And I know you've encountered these things yourself. It's kind of like, oh, this thing that I taught myself how to make no longer works the way I taught myself. So it's like we have to constantly redefine pretty much everything we do in GameMaker. And that's very frustrating. And I think a lot of us stuck around because we have thick skin, like we're able to roll with the punches, so to speak. It's just frustrating, that's all. And I'm venting, a lot of you are also venting, it's you know, it's part of the process. We're getting good at it, guys. We're pretty good at it. We're good. We're good. We're groovy. We're groovy right now. Yeah, but this is something I probably don't say often, but I'll say it now. I think you all should diversify. Me personally, I kind of went all in on the sandbox, and frankly, I'm getting a little bit burned for it during these bull market runs. Because when I went all in, sandbox was pretty hot. It was pretty cool. And now, it's starting to cool down. I think it'll get hot again, though. It's just, it's been a while since it got hot. We're overdue for a hot streak. Gotta run. See you later, Garnican. Have yourself a fantastic day. Julie Sancho, welcome in. 24-day professional development. Oh, okay, Ikion. Thank you for the confirmation. Oh, that's awesome, Escape Room Artist. Yeah, that is very diversified. Plus, all of it's coming together for, you know, making games. And to be completely honest, I think Game Maker is one of the most approachable softwares for making games. If let's just say I was a teacher at a school. If a kid walked up to me and was like, I want to start learning how to make games, where can I begin? I would, of course, tell them about the many options. But then Game Maker is the one that I would recommend. So there are tons of, you know, potential paths you can take if you want to make video games. Which, if I was, you know, in high school, I really wish I kind of went down more of a computer science path. But in general, like, the sandbox is very approachable for people not in computer science. And that's why I was always scared of making video games, was like, oh, I have to learn how to code. I've tried learning how to code, it's just my brain can't wrap around it. But in the sandbox, it's visual coding. You're basically telling this box that it needs to open when the ball gets close enough. And so you're visually coding. Oh yeah, you guys can stream whatever you want to stream. I'm not going to stop you. And of course, making connections in communities, that's a great way to look at it. Yeah, personally, I've tried doing other games, and I realized that diversifying my audience might bring people to the sandbox, sure. But it's also not something I want to do. And yeah, Halfd0rk, you do not have to justify yourself, by the way. But I appreciate all you do for the community as well. So whatever you guys choose to do, you can do, you know, and it is your stream, it's your platform. I share my subjective views, and I hope that this is not a volatile or argumentative thing. Or discussion. You know, this is us talking about making games, streaming the sandbox, being supportive of one another, being a community. Like, we all have different desires, wants, needs, goals. Don't think I saved the blue boxes. So I'll make sure I save even the blue ones. I also don't remember where I started. Got off track. But should be able to see it. In fact, I'll just overwrite the other 8s as well, just so I feel more confident about it. So now that I've saved all these presets, I am looking in pretty good shape for aesthetically how this mini game or puzzle should work, how it should operate. Now, I'm very happy with how these puzzles have come together. There's a couple probably more advanced things I need to tackle with the final puzzle, which I will make on stream when it's able to be made. Basically, I want to use the drop mechanic. So for those of you familiar with Game Maker, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, in your inventory, you can drop items, and that is currently disabled, but it should be making a comeback eventually, maybe 8.3. So when that patch rolls around, like, that's going to be the final puzzle in our game here. So we have plenty to do before then, but that will be the final puzzle I guess make on stream. And it's going to be using the drop mechanic from the inventory. I know some people will only watch if you stream Sandbox. Yep. OG Shakespeare, I was just talking about the financial wall a lot of creators are hitting. Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it, OG. It is difficult to directly monetize, and that is, OG, just because of how slow things are moving. Like, a lot of us creators got into the space because it's like, oh, there's promises of monetization. I started Sandbox 18 months ago, and I still do not have direct access to the marketplace. Like, I can't make something and then put it on the marketplace. That is a question that first-time creators have for the Sandbox, and it's like, they spend all this time learning how to make voxel art, and they still cannot sell it. And it's like, oh, you just have to wait like the rest of us. Like, that shouldn't be the problem. It's a long haul for sure, Bert. Crypto technology and industry, still infantile. Yeah, we are definitely in the early days. Don't get me wrong. But to see people spend their livelihoods, their time, their creativity, making things for the Sandbox, and then not getting that return on investment, I think is like the main quirk or problem I have. Because not enough people are able to say good things about creating in the Sandbox. There is not enough of a movement to get people interested. So it looks like all of my plugs, I'm probably going to want to move out a little bit. I like how this one is a little bit outside of the box. It makes it seem more grabbable. So with the blue boxes, we'll probably add a couple percentages. And so that was 5.0 and 8.8 for those specific boxes I'll find. So this one is 8.8. So we're going to want the Y offset to probably be like 1.5. And then for the blue box, we had 5.0. And so this one will probably do like 1.2. So I'll save these presets again. And we should be able to see a immediate change. Yeah, OG Shakespeare. I talked with Alex a little bit about it, and he's very supportive of me as a creator. So he was very kind to offer, you know, a starter kit of gems and catalysts. So to put it bluntly, OG Shakespeare, I can mint things, and you are absolutely right. Where the market is way too volatile right now. And gas is just not happy. Gas is just never at a good point right now. And that's because we're not on Polygon yet. As soon as we're on Polygon, a lot of problems go away. And I applaud Sandbox for making it happen. I applaud them for taking the steps necessary to make sure it works. I think it would be worse if we like jumped into it too fast. So I am fine with waiting. It's just, it's frustrating to wait as long as we have. That's all. That pretty much sums up how I feel about it. It's just we've been waiting a while. That's all. So I'll probably remove about 0.2 from the 8 and 0.1 from the blue. Three. This one will be 1.1. Save it again. Yeah, I think it's more frustrating to see creators selling assets in the sandbox marketplace and nobody's buying them. So I've just been kind of like keeping an eye on the marketplace in general. There's not a lot of sales going on, and that is very concerning. And I think it's mainly because Sandbox just hasn't gotten that traction yet. We're still in a bull market, so it's like people aren't really throwing money around. But NFTs in general, like, you need to find some utility to go with your NFTs. And right now, Sandbox's promise of utility is like, hey, you can put this in your game, which doesn't really do much for many people. Nobody's even claiming the free rewards. Yikes, Tom. Or yeah, sorry, Escape Room Artist. I always get those wrong. Get them mixed up. And OG Shakespeare, yep, with the market sales. Kercho says maybe it's time to wake up from the metaverse dream. Live the real life job nightmare. No, Kerachos, please. But also, you have to do what you have to do, Kerachos. And none of us would hold it against you. Those with money to spend have to go out and earn it and have no time to stop. Yeah, Bert, I agree with that. Reckon still 5 to 10 years. Yeah. We're talking 5 years for the sandbox too. But hey, us being here right now, and especially those of you that are like trying to set up a foundation as a creator in the sandbox, like, the opportunities are here, but you also have to keep in mind the opportunity cost. As to, like, as Karatros put it, he's spending time, but he's not making as much money as his time is worth. And that's just a very common occurrence in life in general. It's not just online Web3 metaverse stuff. Like, you have to be able to say and tell yourself, like, this isn't working out. You know, you need to be able to set boundaries for everything you do. Like, there has to be a cutoff point where it's like, okay, enough is enough. I need to move on, you know? Personally, I'm able to commit a lot more time to this, and I have found success, but I am one in, like, a few that have been able to say the same. So the blue looks pretty good. Yellow looks great. And green looks good. Okay, so those are the numbers I'm going to be using, and I'm going to copy paste them. When I grab these will not work because they're empty. So grabbing this one takes it with me. Then I can put it on another one. Alright, so it didn't spawn the next chronological one. So that's a little bit concerning. So my asset spawners are currently not working. So I'm not sure what's going on there. My first thought is it's because all of these presets are just chilling. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save these with the updated offsets. And then, yeah, I'll probably wrap up the stream pretty soon here. So thanks everybody for just hanging out, just chatting. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, and I think we all got some things off our chests. One in a million. Oh, thanks, Hill. People are still using the blockchain, yeah. Halfd0rk, it's kind of sad that the majority of Web3 users are like flippers. It's so sad to me because it's like completely misusing the potential of Web3. Just so people can make a quick buck. Now it's time to act, but true financial freedom and rewards are a number of years off, says Bert. Plan properly, financial options to keep going. Yeah, I mean, multiple income streams is the name of the game. You gotta diversify your income, especially in Web3. To not do so is basically going into the casino and betting it all on black. Which is a fun analogy, and yeah, it works in the movies, but in real life, it works like 1 out of very few times. They cheat at the casino. I think we're going to see a lot of gambling in the Web3s in general. So that's going to be fun. Man, I can't wait to see lives get ruined online in real time. Joking. I'm not looking forward to that part. Yeah, Halfd0rk, a lot of those coins going around. It's like people willing to buy a scratch-off ticket, and what's worse is there's people that are willing to buy a scratch-off ticket 10 times over. Like, it's like, hey, I'll gamble it all on the next Dogecoin. And then that Dogecoin is a rug, which is a very common term that many of you know. If you're unaware of what being rugged is it's kind of like making promises, receiving funding, and then not fulfilling those promises. And the funding is usually coming from crowdsourcing. So people are buying your coin because you promised to do something, or your coin just has a funny name on it. Maybe you didn't promise anything, and people just kind of like fill in the blanks themselves. So there's a lot of people out there that are just willing to take incredible risks with their money without even having any semblance or idea of like how that money is going to be tripled, doubled, whatever. There's just a lot of people with money on the internet right now that should not have the amount of money they have. And it's going to be taken from them by scam artists. Oh, true, Bert. That's an interesting way to put it in perspective with the .com days. Looking for miracles. Yeah, character, that's a great phrase. I like that. 80% back, Blue Tulip, yep. So where does that 20% go? I'd be surprised if you even make 80%. It's a cycle. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Escape from Artists. Overall, I think most people... What is this bug? What are these errors? But yeah, I mean, in general, most people are going to get burned in Web3. In fact, I got burned. Like, the very first couple attempts at Web3 and just, like, understanding the environment, NFTs in general, you're gonna have to learn the hard way. There's the crash. Alright, well, this is why we save pretty regularly. So I'm not too stressed over that crash. I actually knew it was coming. But I did save like 10 minutes ago, so I didn't lose too much. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Blue Tulip currently has a stream going. Probably send the stream that way. But yeah, thanks all for chatting. I think that was a fun conversation overall. I think we're all, you know, aware of what the sandbox wants to do.
No, we'll have to do more. What did they say?
I'm definitely somewhat frustrated as to how long it's taking. So I try to, you know, make my opinion known so we can talk about it. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna head over to Blue Tulips. Nick Skull, see you later. Bye Truly Sancho. Escape Artist, Halfd0rk, Blue Tulip, Characters, Tom Voxel, thank you everybody. Hope you all have a nice day. Ian the IT guy, you too. Yeah, always nice talking with you all. Have a great Monday.